beginning to feel a lot like winter out there, and it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas as people are putting up their holiday decor over the past couple of weeks, with Christmas right around the corner. This week we had the chance to just drive north of Lincoln to visit a real Christmas tree farm. We were joined by the president of the Nebraska Christmas Tree Growers Association, that is Dennis Adams. Well, Dennis, thanks so much for having us out here. Tell me the history of your Christmas tree farm.
Well, the name of our tree farm is Walnut Grove Tree Farm, and it has a little history behind it because it actually was called Walnut Grove Lodge when we bought the place, and also you can see all the walnut trees around here, so we retained the name Walnut Grove Tree Farm. And we bought the farm in late 1982 with the idea of planting Christmas trees, and planted the first Christmas trees in the spring of 1983. And sold the first Christmas trees in 1990. So this is our 35th year of selling Christmas trees.
What kind of trees are you growing here just north of Lincoln?
Well, basically we have three main varieties three main species that we plant. Scotch pine, white pine, and fir. We do have a few spruce, we do have a few Austrian pine, and that's about it.
Talk about consumers. When people come to your farm, perhaps for the first time, what are they looking for in a tree?
Well, everybody, kind of beauty, I found out over the years that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So I'm surprised sometimes what type of trees people pick. But usually people have in mind what they want. If they come and want a Scotch pine, we've got that. A lot of people anymore, over the last 10 years, the trend has been more towards the fir trees. So I think most of the growers in eastern Nebraska are trying to grow more fir trees for that market. And then white pine is one of my favorite trees, soft-needled white pine, and a lot of people like the white pine.
Fir is a tough tree to grow, especially in eastern Nebraska.
Yes, it is.
Especially over the last few years with drought. How have you tried to overcome that challenge?
Yeah, I found out just from experience that fir trees in eastern Nebraska or Nebraska anywhere are very difficult to grow because of our hot, dry summers, and we get into periods of drought where we may not have rain. Well, like this year, we didn't have rain for about 2 months. And I found out if we don't get rain with firs in about 2 weeks, they start dying. So a few years ago, I took the jump and invested in some drip irrigation system, kind of a rudimentary one, but some drip irrigation system. And so all of my first and second year fir trees are under drip irrigation, and a few of the white pine, but mostly just the fir. If I wouldn't have had drip irrigation this year, I would have lost 100% of the fir seedlings.
We're talking kind of in between your weekends. Opening day was after Thanksgiving.
Right.
How did things open up for you all?
Opening day this weekend was absolutely crazy. We basically couldn't handle all of the customers we had, and I feel kind of bad because we had to make them wait so long and stand in line to even get their tree measured and shaken and baled, but I didn't know what else to do.
Yeah.
So that first week, the first day was crazy, and then the Saturday and Sunday slowed down some, but it was still a busy weekend in total.
In general, over the years you've been growing trees, consumer demand still there, at least for the choose and cut farms?
I think for the choose and cut farms in Nebraska, I think I've seen the demand. Seems like people are getting back more to the families going out as kind of a tradition and picking a real tree rather than an artificial tree. And that's kind of who we cater to. We kind of cater to families. All the choose and cut growers in Nebraska kind of cater to families. So I think the demand has been up a little bit the last few years.
Well, you're the president of the Nebraska Christmas
Yes.
Tree Growers Association. Talk about the industry in Nebraska. Obviously very niche, but how many growers are truly out there today?
Yeah, the Christmas tree industry in Nebraska compared to other states like Michigan or something obviously is relatively small. And all the growers in Nebraska are choose and cut growers. There's no wholesale growers in Nebraska. I think the Christmas tree growers, if I remember right, the association started in like the mid-60s. So, it's pretty old. I mean, there's been kind of a trend downward in the number of Christmas tree farms in the state. So when I was first in the Christmas Tree Growers Association, there were around over 70 tree farms in the association. And now I think we have less than 20 farms that are in the association. So it's declined. One of the reasons the demand on the existing farms is so much is because there's not as many farms around as there was.